Good morning, guys. This is Chris with CodeChris.com. Thank you for watching. And so this video actually is just a real quick brainstorm session where I'm going to run through. Now this actually is a site that I am going to be doing from a cut to make it look good. And so I'm not going to really bore you with how I'm going to build the code out, because I think it's not necessary, especially for this particular kind of video. There's a million tutorials out there for how to do that stuff. Instead, what I'm going to do is sort of brainstorm on how to make this look really cool, really interesting, different, creative, and this is with the current information I have. And this is a test for a company, and what I've done is I've blocked out anything that has their name or logo in it. But at least for now, I figured this would be actually kind of a good exercise and give you a really good example as far as trying to think of what cool things you can do. And then of course you're limited by time, so I have a time limit. Also I have some things going on, so I am going to be stretched on time. So it's nice to kind of have these brainstorm ideas first. And for me, coming from an animation background, kind of thinking of how it's going to move in the final product, and also me wanting to be more involved with JS specifically. The reason why I'm looking for new work, I want to be more involved with JS. Well, this is a good opportunity to go ahead and focus on that and kind of get some of those ideas. So let's go ahead and see a couple of things here. There we go. Cool. Alright, so basically the requirements for this guy are pretty straightforward. You can see the cut is pretty standard, nothing super crazy. There we go. You can see nothing super crazy. I have some ideas of how I'm going to build this. What I did think is kind of cool, but might be kind of dumb. And some of these ideas are just brainstorming, so it might be kind of dumb, and I might not end up doing it. But here's a couple of cool, like, just little things, So for example, this pattern up here with this, I don't know if it'd be too much if it, kind of like does a carousel. That might be a little bit distracting, like the more I'm thinking about it out loud. But maybe the way it initially appears, we can kind of have like a whoop, 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 and then just kind of go across on the side here. That's one idea for this part up here. This part down here, I actually have a really interesting bit that might work. I think it'd be kind of cool. And once again, we're going to see if we're limited on time. But if I can get this logo right and put these guys here, it would actually be really cool if, I want them to stagger in offset from one another, and actually like boop, 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 like fade in. But it actually might be an even nicer idea if what I can do is actually just have it so when you hover over it, they kind of like zoom in a little, and kind of get offset. I think that'd be kind of cute. Let's see here. One thing that this is just kind of a personal thing, but so I have a mixed feeling on this. Do we do a hover state or a click state? I say this because at my current employment, one of the trains of thinking is that hover is dead. Right, we're moving on to a click-only world. Although that is the case, looking at this design, I'm gonna say, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling that it's okay to have a hover state and then have this menu drop out, as opposed to clicking on it and having it pop out. In either case, that I can determine later. But what I think would be kind of cool, instead of just having it hover and have the thing here, a pretty common one, which I think we'll go ahead and go with, is just kind of have it, actually like pull down the menu. This right here, this slider. So the slider is interesting because for this particular cut, it's not actually going to be a I don't have a CMS in the back where they'll be swapping out images. But what I am thinking is, because we're going to be practical here, I'll find a JS slider that will go ahead and insert this stuff. Or if this is something, or depending on what the case is, I might actually just have this actually built and set up, because then I think it'd be kind of cool too to have maybe a Ken Burns effect, where we kind of slowly zoom in on the image as it kind of fades out and goes to the next image, which is going to be the case. Like, the thing is that they're going to have more than one image. And then this gives the flexibility to also change the text for whatever it's going to be for the next slide. I'll have to ask some follow-up questions, and that's a good thing too. The reason why I'm doing this video is I'll figure out some kind of basic questions, like, okay, is this like a hero image, or is this going to be a slider? Like, should I make up a next fake slide, or what's the deal with that? So there's all that going on. Let's see here. Continuing down. Let's see. So obviously I've got some ideas for hover states, or when we click on them, that's whatever. This right here, I have an opportunity to do something, different, and it's interesting because I don't want to shy too away from the design. The design is actually, it's very simple, right? It's really toned down, nothing like in your face. So what I'm kind of thinking is, with these guys, maybe doing like a subtle glow on top of their color. I did think about like having an idea where like it just kind of like outlines it. But once again, I just feel for this particular site it might be a little bit intense, so that might just be me though. Still want to do something when you hover over it and go on all that. So let's see what else we have here. This is all pretty standard. I mean, I'm thinking all this stuff too. It'll definitely, I'll definitely do some jQuery or JS. I'll find out what exactly they're okay with. I can do both. Basically, kind of have this stuff, fade in, offset, one at a time, and all that. I like this coming in later, zooming in once you get to it. The footer. Right now, the page is kind of short. So, but I actually really like it when the footer is more of a revealed footer, right? So like you have this piece here and it's clearly at the bottom, and you have like this little bar down here, and as you scroll up you kind of reveal this piece. I think that's always something that looks cool, and I think it'll be alright here. So, and then obviously we have our basic footer, nothing really fancy about that. Actually, take it back. Maybe what I'll do is reverse that. This will use as the actual more so footer that will just kind of reveal at the very end. Maybe both? Maybe this whole thing? I don't know, because there's this bar right here which kind of tells me that's how it should roll. So, maybe I'll just do that instead, actually. I think that makes a little more sense. These guys, they're pretty standard. We'll just kind of have them come in cool. I want to make this really, really cool and flashy, and but once again, form follows function. That's kind of like one of the things I say a lot on my videos. So we can't really overdo it, or just bombard it with craziness. One thing that actually would be cool though is I do see some cool cursive in here, specifically this part right here. I think maybe we can do something where we can actually like write. That'll require some stuff outside of normal website stuff, but I have that ability because I can animate and I know how to use After Effects and all that stuff. So once again, we'll kind of play it by ear. Okay, so this is the home page. One of the things they also want me to do is the site obviously doesn't have to be fully functional, but they do want me to be able to click on something and build a secondary page following that same kind of style. So what I think I'll end up doing is, having one of these items, probably this guy because he's so cute. So I'll click on him, right? And then following the same kind of styling, obviously I haven't built the Photoshop piece up yet, but I'll go ahead and have him be a single page item, right? So we'll go ahead and do that. Well, actually, we'll do it for all three because they'll basically use the same idea. Let's see what else. Okay, cool. So now, the other thing I was going to say is, Alright. This is the mobile version. Obviously, we need to have a mobile version that functions, right? It's got to be responsive, and that's just kind of like, standard at this point. And then the thing with mobile versions is they're not super involved, super in-depth. Obviously, we'll switch out some images. That's kind of cool, all right? This right here is a good opportunity for parallaxing. So I don't know if there's more up here, but this is a good opportunity for us to do some parallax. Although being on mobile, may not want to just because of size. It is only on mobile, but I might take this too and make it in the iPad size, right? So because we're going to be needing to build an iPad, which is always like the worst size because it's like right in the middle. So iPad. I think these are all pretty straightforward, pretty standard. There's really nothing crazy that can happen on mobile. But one thing that would be cool, and I think is probably kind of implied by this, is that when you click on these plus buttons, it's going to expand out. The question really becomes is whether if you click on this and does this part here expand up, or does it just like open up? And actually, I'm looking at it now. I'm probably going to say open up, so like the about us stays exactly where it is, and it's contents that expands this part down, and then you click it and toggle, and it would zoom it back up, zoom it back down, and obviously we want that effect, that opening and closing effect. Looks like we've got some standard stuff right here, standard, and then just make a basic footer. Okay, cool. So the site itself is actually pretty straightforward, pretty simplistic, which I understand why they did it this way, because they don't want to do anything that goes way overboard. It actually looks like something that we don't need to use a lot of craziness for. So I think for me the hard part is just going to be making sure to tone it down. Once again, being a baby website as a model, we really want to be more subtle and soft and gentle with everything. So that's how babies are, So, all right, well that's my current thoughts on this. Obviously, once this is done, I'll eventually have a spot for it online. You guys can check it out. As a sample, I'll throw it inside my GitHub, whatever the case is. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. This is Chris with codechris.com. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, and have a nice day.